wicked, wicked. Jungle is massive. Wicked, wicked. Wicked, wicked. Jungle is massive. Wicked, yo, 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 yo. We got this skill.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Claret and Booze. My name's Nick, and this is my daily ramble. Well, let's call it the morning after show after that magnificent win last night. Crap game, but magnificent win. First of all, I'd like to start with whoever watched that thing last night. I'd like to apologise for my front teeth. I drank almost a bottle of wine throughout that 4.5 hour session that we've done, and by the last 2 hours, I had black teeth. They're not black. Look, I mean, they're not white, but they're not black. Honestly, I promise you. It was fucking. There was literally all black the whole way through. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, it was only some lovely chap who let me know in the comments. Thanks to Gary and John who didn't. Look, before we get started, as always, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and if you like the video, please drop a like on it because it does help us. Look, what I want to start by saying is I've had a little think about things. I did this morning. I mean, this is early. I'm recording this. It's 6:30. So I've kind of been up since 5. I've been watching all the videos, having a few chats on WhatsApp, and you know what? I feel quite guilty. I feel guilty for myself more than anything else. I've seen some of the comments from last night's video as well, and yeah, it's kind of woke me up a little bit. And this thing that I've got with David Moyes, which won't go away long run, you know, it won't go away. But it's clouded my ability to enjoy what was a magnificent night last night completely. You know, I can't be like that. I physically can't. It's stupid. So I do feel guilty. I feel guilty for going OTT on David Moyes last night. He does deserve to be happy for that. He really does. You know, I don't like the football. I don't like the way that we delivered it. I don't like the way that we got there. But we got there in a cup competition. We're in a final. That is a massive night. It was a wonderful way to finish it. It was a beautiful moment for Pablo Fornals. It was really special. Yes, people are going to complain. I was complaining about the style of football, but ultimately, we're not going to remember that if once in Prague we get past Fiorentina and we win that cup. Something I've never seen us do, and I think we've got a really good chance of doing it. So I do really need to shelve all of this stuff until after the final. Like I say, you're not going to get any difference of direction from me when we win the cup, which I think that we're going to do. I'm still going to want a change after this. I know a lot of people are probably not going to. They're probably going to soften towards David Moyes, but I'm going to stick to my guns. That's my beliefs. I think that we'll, you know, he's hopefully he reaches his ceiling at West Ham and he's got a cup to show for it, and we can shake his hand and say thank you very much. I'll certainly have a lot more, I think, affection for him if we can go towards. If we can win this, then yeah, I won't be as raging every time I see his face, but I will still want him to move. All right, so I just want to make that clear. But I have got to calm it down, just for myself, really, because you know, I mean, like I say, I was over the moon, elated when Fornals scored that goal, and then you know, all that's got to happen is, you know, it clips to David Moyes, and I don't know, I react like a little kid, and it kind of it sucked the happiness out of me immediately, and that's ridiculous. You know, it was such a special night. We got through to a final. I do need to stop doing that. So from this point on until the end of the season, until that cup final, I'm not going to be doing any more Moyes out talk now. I will be afterwards, but I want to, you know, we've all endured a crap season. We really have, and we could round it off and cap it off with what would be a magnificent day, night, weekend, week, which is what it will turn into. It will be amazing if we can lift that cup. And it does feel big. It does feel massive. You've only got to look now when you see all the player celebrations in the changing room. You know, even to a degree, you know, David Moyes, when he gave his post-match speech in the dressing room, and they all went, they are all together at this point. They all desperately want to win this cup, just like the fans do. You know, David Moyes wants it for himself. He's never won anything. The Charity Shield he won at Man United was Alex Ferguson's team. It was that's not really a competitive thing to win. So this would be his first cup that he'd ever won in his career, that he'd won. A lot of those players are never going to get another opportunity to play in a final. It meant the world to them. You could see it on their faces after the game. It was magnificent, the reaction, and it kind of brought it home to me. And I did wake up feeling quite guilty. It was probably the bottle of wine that had soaked my teeth as well. That didn't help me, but yeah, I'm over the moon. I'm elated now. I'm disappointed with my reaction after the game, really. But look, it is what it is. It's an emotional game. I've stuck to my guns for so long on this. And I'm seeing so many people flip flopping and doing this and doing that. I just didn't want to be one of them. I want to stick to my guns, and I'm going to stick to my guns. But I've got to can the vitriol until I don't think it's needed now. Because at the end of the day, there's nothing that I can do, nothing that I can say that can make the board act in any way. And a lot of it comes down to the wider fan base as well. So at the moment, as it stands, prior to kick-off, if you'd have run a poll for Moyes out, it would have been overwhelming. Yes, Moyes out, get him gone. But now, as things go on, it will change. So look, if the wider fan base end up changing their direction and changing their tact and going, look, we want him in, who am I to say otherwise? I'm never going to want it. I'm never going to enjoy his football. He mentioned after the game about, he admired Ferguson, but then I also admired Mourinho as well, who found a way to win without worrying about performance. And so long term, that isn't what I'm going to want. But you know what? For a final, I don't even care if we play that way in the final. If we play that way in the final when we win, who cares, really, now at this point? I just really want it now. I really, really do. It was brilliant. We beat them. I suppose when you look at it now, in retrospect, the plan did work. We beat them 3-1. Could have gone differently. They could have scored, a couple of their chances that they created. Same as we could have approached it differently, but we didn't, and we won. So, and we're through. We're through to a final, and it was a great way to finish it. It was suspenseful towards the end. The release was brilliant. So that kind of 90 minutes of pain was rewarded with that one moment of release when Pablo Fornals becomes a hero, which is what he was, and that amazing celebration where he goes up and stands on the holding, and you got the picture from behind, and then just above that you got the flag, and then you've got you got Gary's friend Jackie Hughes, who's got the flame red hair, standing next to Don Peretta. That's definitely going to end up on her wall. That will. It's an amazing picture. It was a brilliant night. I wish I was out there as well. So look, yeah, like I say, I do apologise for my reaction yesterday, as much to myself as everyone else, because I should have been full on really, really enjoying that yesterday. And there was an element of me, because of this fucking David Moyes thing, that was prevented from doing that. And that's my own doing. I'm not going to allow that to happen in the final. I'm not. I want us to win this thing 100%. And what will happen in the summer, we'll deal with in the summer. That's what we'll do, We'll get the euphoria of becoming Europa Conference League champions out of the way. We'll enjoy that. And then what we'll do is we'll settle down and we'll talk about what we're going to be doing in the in the summer, what we think should happen then. And like I say, spoiler alert, it's not going to be any different to what I've been saying for the last few months. So, but let's get this out of the way first. I just wanted to say that, congratulations to the team, congratulations to all the fans. We've really earned it this year. It was a beautiful moment. It was, and I'm hoping that it isn't going to be the last beautiful moment in the competition for us. I hope we're going to go on and win it. We can. We've got a glamour tie now against Fiorentina. This is the one that I wanted, because I don't think we've beat anyone of note this far. Not discarding RZ. I think RZ are a good team, good football team, but they're not a big name. Fiorentina is a name that everyone knows. That will look good. If we beat Fiorentina in the final, it'll be the cherry on the cake. It'll be brilliant. So I can't wait for the final. June the 7th is going to be great. Gary's going out there. It's going to be brilliant. And a quick mention, sort of a discussion on all the fan trouble after the game as well. I mean, that was despicable, absolutely despicable. Everyone will have seen it. I don't need to tell you what happened. But what I suppose if you're not aware, at the final whistle, the RZ fans pulled down some really crappy holding, like those collapsible barriers that were barricaded up against the away fans, separating them from the area where all of the players' families were sitting and watching the game. They pulled that down and stormed it, and you had a load of RZ fans with all their black gear on and their balaclavas and everything else steaming into them. But and the players reacted with, as anyone would, as anyone would. If you're in a situation where you got friends and family up in that box, you'd be panicking because there was a lot of them. There was a lot of them as well. Players reacted. You've seen the clips. Paqueta, Downs, Cresswell, Noble, Nolan, all kind of wading in and stuff like that, which you'd panic, So I hope they don't get any retrospective action for that because they shouldn't. The only thing that should happen retrospectively there is the RZ team should be dealt with, their fans should be dealt with, the way that they policed it because their reaction was so slow. There was no reaction there at all. It was like everyone was just standing there watching. It went on forever. So yeah, I hope that there's no repercussions for us because there really shouldn't be. That should never be the case. It should never happen. But nonetheless, those little I'm not going to call them what I want to call them. But basically, they all before the police came, they got pushed back and pegged back because it weren't just the players fighting back. It was the friends and family as well. They weren't backing off. They was all going towards them, and in the end, those brave lads with their balaclavas on, they was doing the moonwalk. They was going backwards. They weren't expecting it. Even little Benny was throwing punches. So yeah, they came unstuck on two fronts there. They got beat on the pitch and then they got beat afterwards as well. But I hope we don't see anything else like that in this competition because it isn't fair. It should have been a moment for celebration, and that was crap. But I will say, beautiful left hook from Paqueta, and I was showing some genuine concern this morning because the one person that you couldn't see in the post-match celebrations after we'd seen Paqueta wading in with all those windmill punches, you couldn't see him. And I couldn't see him in the changing room either. So I thought, oh no, what's happened to him? Is he in the nick? Has something worse happened? But no, there's pictures of him on the plane with a big smile on his face, celebrating and getting off at the other end as well. So we're all good. And we're all set to go for Leeds at the weekend. We'll come back with another pre-match show for that. And then I won't be doing a watch along for that because that was a slog last night. That was 4.5 hours on screen. So we won't be doing that again, and we won't be doing the final either because I'm going to be enjoying that myself somewhere. So that'll be good. In fact, if I can get out to Prague with Gary, I'll be going out there. So look, that is it from me. Again, like I say, just apologies to anyone that may have took exception to my reaction last night. Well, look, I reacted, I celebrated, but then as soon as the camera pans to David Moyes, I react like a petulant child, like Antonio when he's just been pushed over and start stamping my feet, and I can't do that anymore. It's bad for me, I've got to enjoy this moment the same as everyone else has. So, yes, let's see what happens. Onwards to the final, and I think we're going to do it. So, yeah, brilliant stuff. Okay, Gavin, you heads.